everyone, how's it going? My name is Bernadette Desir. I'm also the solo host on the Unleashing Potentials podcast. I want to ask you this. Are you staying warm? Because it's been so cold in Calgary, you guys. It's just, oh my. You see, I have no words for it. Because, as you can see, I'm craving some sunshine in the beach. I have this in my room because it takes me to another place, even though I'm still in Calgary. I hope you're staying warm. So you guys, on the podcast last week, I talked about the importance of sadness, of feeling sad. If you haven't had the chance yet to listen to this episode, please go listen to it. Some of us are silent sufferers, and some of us suffer a little louder. But regardless, sadness is sadness, grief is grief, as I've talked about grief also. And the important thing to understand here is that none of us get a ticket out of this. We don't choose when we're sad or how we are impacted by sadness. Just like anything in life, it just happens and we have to deal with it. So please listen to that episode if you want to hear more. Next week on the podcast, I am again going to be pouring my heart out into the topic that I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about racism, just the topic of it, and focusing mostly on Black History Month as well. As you all know, February is Black History Month, so I want to go a bit in detail into that as well, and just to talk. This conversation and episodes I'm about to create on this topic is not to divide, to say who's better, who's greater. It's to bring us all together and to learn more about each other, right? And I think racism has impacted all of us. I don't care where you're from. Maybe you know someone who is Black or Asian or different race. It has somehow impacted you. And I'm going to go into some terms. Maybe you've heard of them, maybe you haven't, of what they mean and their impact on anybody, all right? And it's everywhere, okay? Racism is everywhere. And the thing that makes it hard at times, if not all the time, is that we don't want to talk about it. Because if we do, we might offend someone. Or we might lose friends, or we just might get in trouble. Maybe it's at your work. You feel that maybe in your heart you should say something of what you witnessed happen to someone of a different race, and you didn't. You go home and you know you should have said something but didn't. I'm going to talk about that as well. And it's also in the schools, in the healthcare system, where you work, and it's everywhere. Okay, and my hope in creating this is to bring us together, not to divide, not to judge, not to criticize, not to say this race is better than the other, because I believe we are one. We are love, we are light, we are humans, and we make mistakes. And we can learn from those mistakes as well. All right? So I want you to listen to this episode with your heart open, with intention, with purpose, and most importantly, be willing to practice what you want to practice out of it. If you would like to be on my podcast, I always give anybody the opportunity to share whatever that's on their heart. Maybe it's a passion you have to teach and help others. Maybe it's a career you have that you would like to expand and teach others and talk more about it. Please let me know.